Welcome to Data Visualization Learning Session. Today I'll be talking about uh, ineffective visuals and how to improve them. That's our goal today. And for this, we'll examine two visuals, but in this session, we'll examine only one visual regarding the cycling event. What you see in the chart, or what you see in the video is about a chart that about a charity sporting event that was done in 2015, and it was published by a firm that organized such event. It shows the money raised for cycling versus walking versus running. And what you see is here is that they try to show you how much money they have earned by cycling versus running versus walking. What do you think about this picture? Is it clear to you what it's trying to say? Okay, let's proceed. For me, this is not really clear what it's trying to say here. Is it trying to say is that the cycling even per event earns more money than walking and running? Or is it saying that in total the cycling earns more money than walking and running? We don't know what it's trying to say. We don't have the information here. Therefore, this data lacks some context. And what we're trying to, next thing I noticed in this data graph is that it is using this 3D graph. It looks like a 3D pie chart. Don't you think? Don't you think? What do you think? Doesn't this look like a 3D pie chart to you? Yes, of course it is a 3D pie chart. And we all know that creating graph 3D, which can be easily created in a two-dimensional, is a no-no in a data visualization world. And that's why we need to change this graph into a two-dimension. Having a 3D graph changes your perception of data. It skews your perception of data. And when you look at this graph, you see that one more thing you should see is that definitely the cycling is earning more money than running and walking, but it, it also should. But if you look at the data itself, if you calculate the numbers, the cycling itself is earning more money than running and walking combined. But you actually can't see that by looking at this data or looking at this graph. Therefore, it doesn't provide all the information that it should. How do we fix it? Now the question arises, how do we fix this thing? Well, what we can do is, I've created a graph for you, a second page that shows, I put that in a bar graph. Bar graph is always a graph to go as a starting option, as a starting point, because it is simple to do. And everybody knows how to read a bar graph. Don't you? Of course you do. Therefore, let's start with the bar graph and let's plot the values for each cycling, walking, and running as a bar. And what we see here immediately is that it's clear that cycling is earning more money than walking and running combined. But to make it even clearer, what we can do is that we can put a line on top of it, on top of the bar graph, such that people don't have to do math to see that cycling is earning more money, walking and running combined. For that, we can put a line here that says this is a 50% mark. That shows that this is the 50% mark of all the total sum, and it will show you that okay, it is earning more than the 50% of the total. That means cycling is earning more money than walking and running combined. And this helps the user to read the bar more easily without any extra math. And then let me quickly summarize what we learned today. We learned about visuals and how to make it more easily readable. We look at the example published by a firm that shows the sum earned by cycling, walking, and running, and it was presented uh, as a pie chart graph, 3D pie chart graph, which was not easily readable. And then it had some flaws also, that it did not depict all the information correctly. And we tried to change that using the bar graph, with which was more simpler and easy to read. And also we added some addition and notation on the graph to make it even easier for reader to read the graph without doing any math. So that's all for today. I'll see you next learning session. Thank you so much.